Welcome back to Mega Man Zero 2. Last time we completed our final task. Now, maybe if we go back in here, El Pizzo will have calmed down now. And might not want to do a full strut. Oh, no, that's, Yeah, okay. Oh, they're already in position. Uh-oh. We're definitely just going to kill them all in one big strike. We have enough guns. It's time to start Operation Righteous Strike. No, seriously, I do need to say it like that every time. Remember when I was a kid, I just imagined him doing like a disco pose during that? And I don't know why. It's not really appropriate. Righteous is really more of a surfer bro thing instead of a disco thing, but I also did always figure he also has to pronounce it very dramatically. It is, after all, Operation Righteous Strike. So everybody with better ideas is begging El Pizzo to not do this, but has anyone considered just shooting Neo Arcadia more? Look, it's cute that you think we can make peace. The only thing we can do is kill all of them. I mean, that is true. Oftentimes, giving people something free is just, you know, they're gonna kind of take advantage of it. Like, what, are you just working for exposure here, CL? He says you Reploids like he's not one. Hey, El Pizzo, what's that about? Why'd you word it like that? I'm just saying, we've only had like a few guns against them before. I'm sending way more guns in. This is going to work. Oh, thank goodness, I've been holding this pose for minutes now. I just need to go kill someone. Well, I mean, I guess that's the one good thing about El Pizzo is he is going to the front lines. In much the same way a Fire Emblem Lord would. Yeah, he's actually out there risking life and limb. It's just, you know, he doesn't also have the kind of empathy, common sense, desire for a more ethical way to end things. Yeah, don't we all? Zero, please, we're just the operators. We can't really influence him at all. Alright, we've got our mid-game mission here. Well, I mean, we took care of a wall, so that looks pretty good, right? Oh, and there's already corpses. So yeah, welcome to El Pizzo's terrible no-good idea. But hey, you remember the song, right? We all remember the Neo Arcadian core theme, right? Well, it's back. It's kind of nice to hear it again. Well, it's a very good final area theme, but, you know, now it's just sort of a more familiar friend to us, you know? We've heard this song before, and it's just the song that plays when we're here. Speaking of songs, though, while we try and catch up with El Pizzo and stop him from doing something dumber than, well, all of the things that have already happened. So, the Rockman 02 OST, or the remix album anyway, the Arrange album, is Remastered Tracks Rockman 0 Idea. So yeah, if you're looking for it, that's the particular one you'll find. Definitely an important thing to note, though. There are no audio dramas for this soundtrack for some reason. It is the only arranged album for the Mega Man Zero games that doesn't have any at all. So yeah, unfortunately, I have nothing I can link you for this game. Because it's just the remastered tracks, no voice acting. Well, sort of. There are EX tracks, and while they might not be audio dramas, they are, for the most part, lyrical songs. There is Mark of Justice Resistance Anthem, Luceau de Bonheur, which I'm doing my best to pronounce it not as boner, Clover, and then there's Red Time, which is not a lyrical song, but it is an EX track because it is not normally used in-game. Also, we've got golems. We found a bunch of them throughout the game, now we just gotta fight a bunch in a single room. We'll be using their elemental weaknesses this time, just so these go a bit faster. We've got no time to waste, El Pizo's doing a dumb. But yeah, the soundtrack, the EX tracks rather, are pretty good. There is also some notes from Ippo Yamada for, I think, every track, some of which is actually used for some backstory stuff. Let's see, yep, we got a fire golem next. But yeah, I got some, notes from Ippo Yamada, which I'll bring up every once in a while. I'm not going to bring up all of them, but I'm gonna bring up a few. They were, of course, in Japanese, but Rockman Corner did translate them. So I wanted to mention Departure, but we don't actually have too much time left. In this stage, anyway. We fought Electric, we fought Fire, and now we're fighting Ice. Who thankfully has a similar format of room to what he had initially. Electric didn't get that, but that was the one we fought in the first stage, so having walls is definitely going to change that no matter what. And there we go, Ice Golem taken care of. Oof, 17 clear time? Jeez. This one must be pretty rough. I guess I could have gone faster in a few places, but still, oof. Well, I mean, 17 points still means we got here in plenty of time, right? Right? Okay, so this is really embarrassing. I'm really sorry about El Pizo. Also, yeah, no, he risked life and limb, and, everybody died except him. Well, thankfully, while this would be viewed as a faux pas for many people, surely all three of you are battle horny enough that you're not gonna pay attention to that, right? So, Harpuya, you're, yeah, I wanted him to not do stupid things, but, I see we're a little late on that. Okay, yeah, you make good points, but we're just gonna take him back. I mean, we do a lot of things on our own. Oh, okay, I'm in the middle of a conversation, but, ooh, this does seem kind of important. Oh, right, yeah, it's actually really easy for you to attack us. You know, I kind of forgot that you could do that, considering we had the new base and all, but, I guess it's no Hittite Hotade, but it's still gonna be pretty effective. I mean, if anything, bombardment is gonna be, a lot trickier to deal with than one big tank. So yeah, as you might have guessed, Harpooya is the most reasonable of the Guardians, and he doesn't exactly agree with what Copy X did, necessarily. He obeyed him, but clearly he doesn't completely hate the Resistance, but his priority is, of course, humans, so... Yeah, considering we just did a massive attack on Neo Arcadia, they're not gonna let that slide, so... Good job messing that one up, El Pizzo. Alright, so she said 10 minutes. There's no time limit for this next stage. That being said, this definitely seems pretty serious, so, I think we'll be taking care of this mission right now. Oh man, but it's so much easier to just stab things. Why can't this be like the bombs from the factory? Alright, and we run off instead of teleporting. Look, we'd accidentally take El Pizzo if we teleported, so... yeah, we gotta walk out onto this aircraft instead. Alright, so this is definitely a bit of a cool stage, bit of a frustrating stage. I mean, theme-wise, obviously this one rules. And we're not even to the actually cool part. So we jump off, and... right, so we're starting out right here. So this is a stage that some people think you can't revisit, so some people assume that it's not possible to get all of these cyber elves, like, on a miss. There are some missable, is the way to phrase that, if I didn't mess it up. That being said, though, you can absolutely revisit the stage, it just... you need to wait a little bit before you can, and also, you'll never visit that part again. Look, once we're over and done with the stage, those ships are gone. As will this one. Because we got the little mini-boss here. That being said, though, while we're on this guy, I mentioned before, Ippo Yamada's notes for, let's see, Track 3 Departure. So, he notes, the track of the opening stage, the Wildlands. Zero departs towards these grounds of battle once again. After the collapse of Area X, Neo Arcadia's countermeasures program was perfect. Zero soon had to become a fugitive. This desert doesn't only steal his sight, it's actually a scientific weapon which contains micromagnetic lines that cause ECM effects and paralysis on Reploids, and turning these lands into the stage of the battle was the core of the siege operation by the Sand Seas Task Force. So, a few things. First off, there are devices here that when you destroy them, the electric walls go down. If you want, you can freeze them, and then it'll actually have a delay before the device shuts off, which you do need to access certain areas. Second off, I like that extra bit of context for the first level of the game, because it really does kind of seem, without the extra context, like Zero kind of just casually fought for a year and got bored. But no, that's not the case. It was the plan all along to trap him in the desert. It wasn't just the building exploding, it was also an attempt to just kill whoever killed Copy X, which, you know, pretty thorough plan. Yeah, you know, just EMP the Reploid until we can track him down and kill him. Hopefully he's not a legendary Reploid, or this will take a while. And third, Track 20, Power Bomb. Ippo Yamada's comment on this one is, a speedy track which is, in my view, similar to the X-Series. The non-wing autonomous bomber Seamerg B is where the stage takes place. It's the bomber variant, Type B, of an all-purpose machine used in the Old Wars. It doesn't need a pilot, and it's self-controlled based on the orders of inputting into it. You can also call it a mega-huge mechanoid. It doesn't have any external weapons, so it travels along with the escort machine's Ladybug Lancers, which form a defensive perimeter around it. This place is famous for falling to your death. It's a harsh stage. So yeah, an extra bit of context for this area too. This stage is in fact a gigantic mechanoid that we're crawling around in, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, they just have an autonomous bomber that they can use for missions exactly like this. Which is great for them, not so much for us. So anyway, now we've gotten to the annoying part of the stage. So we've got to protect CL. The more damage she takes, the worse your rank is at the end. Oftentimes, mission completion is kind of just an automatic score, or at the very least, pretty clear and easy to do. This, however, is really, really annoying. So yeah, these guys kind of just appear, start spinning, and you can fight them with anything but the shield boomerang. I'm gonna be honest, that's a pretty bad idea. That being said, you need to be careful, make sure the area's clear, because there are some guys who are going to crawl after her, and yeah, they are too low to the ground, so you're gonna need to stop and stab them. But yeah, the spinny guys can just decide, oh hey, we'll appear now that you're elsewhere, and just hit CL. Now, I did say that you only lose points if she gets hit, much like the first mission from the first game, and she can't actually die or anything. That being said, once again, according to Ippo Yamada, there was a track that's going to be used for, if CL got hit enough, she'd faint, and then you'd get a game over from the bomb dropping, so younger me is probably very thankful that that's not an actual event you can get, because that would have scared me a lot. But also, yeah, it's better that you just lose score if you mess up here, because it's a long segment. And I also know from experience that it's relatively random too. There's only so many things the enemies can do, but like, I never really learned this segment, it was just a matter of getting lucky with the patterns I got, and hopefully they were ones I could react to in time. And oftentimes they were not. So yeah, I'm not fond of that, but we're done. I got it eventually. Also doesn't help that the boss in this level is also not great. Alright, so yeah, now we can't actually teleport out. It can't ever be easy, can it? Right, so, we gotta get out of here, and that also means that I'm gonna go elementless, cause eventually we'll be fighting the boss again, but, you know, I kinda wish I did fight it with its element, cause again, annoying. We've got a bit of an escape sequence, but it's nothing too bad. There's no actual time limit, and the stage itself is mostly pretty easy. Though those guys are, as always, pretty annoying. Have I mentioned before that you can remove their shields with the chain rod? That is probably one of the better uses of the chain rod, is just that and the platforms that you can pull. That's kind of a neat puzzle. Anything the chain rod does that isn't like direct fighting or doing platforming, or like grapple platforming rather, that's fine. It's just the grapple platforming, for what little it's in the game, is miserable. It's miserable and I hate doing it. You also don't have to destroy these crates, and really, it's just kind of petty that I am. They do have drops, but like, this thing's going to crash, so It's not like those boxes would survive anyway. I'm not depriving them of any supplies they're not already depriving themselves of. Anyway, here's this guy. Okay, you remove the bomb, but we'll just crush you. Kuwagust Ankus, that name sounds vaguely familiar for some reason. And that design, I feel like we've seen something similar before. Anyway, for some reason, I'm thinking of the mythological person Iphicles, the brother of Heracles. You've probably not heard of him. Heracles you hear of a lot, of course. There was a whole Disney movie based off of him, but with the Roman name, but nobody ever really mentions his brother. But yeah, I don't know why I felt the need to mention that Heracles has a brother. That's weird. Anyway, this is his EX attack, and it sucks. If you don't divert him soon enough, he just rams into you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Trust me, I tried jumping over him before. It really doesn't work. You can get him to divert his path with other weapons, but none of them are really as consistent as the chain rod, because it has enough distance that you can divert him before he actually flies close enough to you to hit you. Also, he's mentioning a brother. A brother he need to avenge. Yeah, I got nothing. Well, whoever he was probably just a weirdo. Hey, 20 points. Okay, so we cleared that one up pretty well. I will mention, of course, that I didn't get all of these cyber elves. There was a split path there, you might have noticed. But I only took one route. Like I said, though, you can revisit the stage later, just not immediately. Probably because it crashed. Look, it's still flaming hot. It needs to cool down before we can go back. Okay, well, maybe he shouldn't bury himself in his work, you know? He just was the cause of a huge tragedy. So, you know, maybe don't just go back out there, LP. So maybe take some time, go to therapy, maybe learn that your bloodlust was actually bad and really held you back. Yeah, you know, you're feeling foolish now, but we can bounce back from this. Oh, okay. For some reason, I was just a gopher, and they made me the leader here. I didn't get it either. Alright, so... sorry, did you say you didn't have the power, and now you're looking at your hands like this? Oh, Okay, well, no, I was going to say, maybe he's gonna be a shonen protagonist, but, okay, no, he's nope, okay, wow. So, for the most part, we don't have to deal with Mavericks in the Zero games. We have to fight guys who fight for humans, the Mutos Reploids, but, El Pizzo here is kind of becoming the exception to that, huh? He's kind of a classic Maverick at this point. Yeah, El Pizzo really needs help. Let's drag him back to therapy. Not right now, though. Next time. For the time being, Ciel now lives here. She's still in her room, you know, when you're loading data, but yeah, she's gonna be here now because, she's gonna be interim leader because El Pizzo really messed up. And now he's off to go mad somewhere, and we need to stop him from doing that.